So, we have some Oscar nominations to talk about. The nominations for the 95th Academy Awards ceremony got announced the other day, and there's a lot to get into. So this is just going to be my initial reaction to these noms. Let me start by just talking a bit about how I approach the Oscars every year. I've become very jaded about award ceremonies in general, but no matter what, I keep coming back to the Oscars every year and I find myself getting excited. I think it's because I love talking about movies, and this is the time of year where we're basically celebrating the whole movie industry. And I have many friends and family members who are not usually into films who get into the Oscar season buzz around this time of the year. So I think that's why I always get suckered into the hype. But yeah, the Oscars are not the be-all and end-all of film appreciation. It's more of a parade than anything. You know, a load of people parade their films, they get their awards, and then on to the next one. So with all of that said, what do I think about the nominations this year? Well, let's have a look at what's been nominated for Best Picture first of all. So with there being 10 nominations here, there are some surprises, some films that I think usually would not be here if the selection was smaller. Films like Top Gun Maverick, which I loved, and it was a huge action blockbuster tentpole film from last year. And I think if you're looking at overall appreciation of film amongst the masses, Top Gun Maverick was clearly the top film of last year, no pun intended. Similarly, Avatar: The Way of Water would probably not get a showing normally. Another film that I really loved as well, I know a lot of people don't like the Avatar sequel, but again, it really got people engaged with cinema, going to the movie theatre. It's generated loads of money for the industry. So I think it's a great film, and I think it's important that it is represented here, even though I don't think Avatar or Top Gun have a chance of winning. There are a few here that I actually haven't even seen yet, and that's because here in England we get the films so late. So I need to do some catch up before the actual awards themselves. Like, I've not seen Women Talking, which isn't out here yet. Triangle of Sadness I missed because it was in cinemas for like a day or two. And The Fabelmans isn't out until tomorrow at time of recording, so I look forward to checking that one out because I think that has a pretty good chance at scooping up some awards. I don't think Elvis has a chance in hell at winning the Best Picture. I think looking at the list, it's going to be between Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is clearly the fan favourite, especially amongst younger people. It has such a huge buzz around it. I really enjoyed the film, and for quite a while it was #1 on Letterboxd out of every film ever. It had the highest ranking. It has dipped a bit now, but it had such a huge buzz around it when it came out last year. And I think the other two real contenders here are The Banshees of Inisherin and Tar. Both films that I really, really enjoyed. And Tar in particular, I think would be my pick for Best Picture if it was up to me. That film just really blew my mind when I saw it, and I think I'm going to be talking about that film very soon on the channel. And The Banshees of Inisherin was a brilliant story. It got the crew back together from In Bruges. It's as funny as In Bruges, but it's also darkly serious, and it was just a brilliant tale. So I really hope that that has a good chance of winning as well. Moving on to the Best Actor category, and this is a smaller category with just 5 nominations, which is nice. I like the smaller selection. Here I haven't seen The Whale because that isn't out in the UK yet either, but I hear a lot of people saying that Brendan Fraser has a real shot at getting the Oscar. There is also a lot of talk for Austin Butler perhaps winning for Elvis, which is a role that he really got seriously into, and apparently he can't even shake the accent now that he had to take on for the film. Then there's Colin Farrell for Banshees, which was a brilliant performance. Best eyebrows amongst all of the actors for sure, so I think for eyebrows alone he should win. But then the pick that I would go for, it's a rogue choice. I don't think he has a chance in hell at winning against the other names, but Bill Nighy for the film Living, which is a remake of Kurosawa's Ikiru. I loved that film so much, and I think it was such a touching, downplayed performance from him. And I would absolutely love it if he got the recognition that he deserves, because he has done so much over his career. And we do often see that the Academy likes to award people not just for this performance, but for a whole career, if they feel like it's their time to get the award. So that could be a surprise. I don't see it happening though. And then Paul Mescal for After Sun. A lot of people were happy about this. I still have yet to see it because it wasn't out for a long time here in the UK. So I'm definitely going to get a chance to watch that before the award ceremony. Now let's move on to the Best Actress nominations. Andrea Riseborough was nominated for To Leslie, a film that I haven't seen, so I need to check that one out soon. Michelle Williams is nominated for The Fabelmans, which I'm going to be seeing this weekend, so I'm excited to see her performance in that film. Then we have Cate Blanchett for Tar, which I think is my choice for this one. I would love her to win the Oscar. Her performance in Tar was just impeccable, and she gave it her all in a very complex performance, a complex character. So she would be my choice for best performance. Although the next one on this list, which is very controversial, Ana de Armas for her performance in Blonde, a lot of people are outraged at this inclusion in this category. Now, Blonde was a film that I absolutely loved. I thought Blonde was incredible, horrific, grueling at times, but such a well-made film. And there is so much controversy around that. The film got absolutely destroyed when it came out. And I think it's a film that has been destroyed now, but in years to come, it's going to pick up appreciation because of how well it has been done. And then finally, Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Again, that's probably the fan favourite in this category, and I think she is probably going to win here. And I'd be very happy for her if she does, actually, because she's a great performer. On to Best Supporting Actress, and I think this one's not going to surprise many people. I think this one is going to go to one of the two nominations for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Probably to Jamie Lee Curtis, but it could go to Stephanie Sue as well. I don't think Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever will have a chance for this one. Neither will Kerry Condon for Banshees of Inisherin and Hong Chow for The Whale. That's not to say those performances are bad. I haven't even seen The Whale yet, as I said. I just think it's going to go to probably Jamie Lee Curtis. With Best Supporting Actor, this one's a bit more difficult. This could go a number of different ways. There are two nominations for The Banshees of Inisherin. Between Brendan and Barry, I think I'm probably leaning towards probably Barry. I think Barry could get it because of the nature of his character, and it was a very strong performance as well. I haven't seen The Fabelmans, so I don't know about Judd Hirsch. I haven't seen Causeway either, so Brian Tyree Henry. Can't say too much about that. And Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Again, could be another win for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I wouldn't be surprised if that film just absolutely sweeps up. For Best Director, there are 5 nominations, but 6 directors because of the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think this one is probably going to go to Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans. I haven't seen the movie, but it just feels like they're going to show respect, appreciation for, you know, one of the giants of directing. I would love for it to go to Todd Field for his work on Tar, which I just absolutely love. It's a tough category, directing, so it could go either way here. I've noticed some people have actually pointed out that this is the first year in a few years that there are no female directors represented here. So that's quite interesting. I don't know if that's going to have more of a backlash by the time the awards ceremony comes around. I'll just give my thoughts on one more category before I end this video. I will probably go further in depth on my thoughts on all of these films nearer the time of the Oscars, but I want to talk about the animated feature category. I think this one should go to Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I thought that was a brilliant retelling of Pinocchio, a great new setting for it, and the stop motion animation was just so well done. I know a lot of people will be calling for Marcel, the Shell with Shoes On, and also Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, has been getting a ton of buzz. It's very highly rated on Letterboxd right now. It doesn't come out in the UK for another few weeks, but I'm excited to see that one as well. So honestly, I don't think there's too many surprises with these nominations. Some of these films have been talked about a lot for the last few months, and we kind of knew that I think most of these were going to get a good showing at the Oscars. It would be nice to see a bit more of a shake-up in these nominations in the future, because I just think they're only really representing a small slice of the industry. Even when you look at the category for Best International Feature, there's only a handful of films there, and to see omissions like Decision to Leave from Park Chan-wook, which I thought was such a great film, that isn't even nominated, which is crazy to me. So it would be nice to see a broader picture of the industry at the Oscars. But again, like I said at the start of this video, it's just a parade. It isn't the be-all and end-all. These awards are not objectively saying such and such a film is the best film, because at the end of the day, it's all down to subjective opinions of the people who pick these awards. So yeah, have some fun with the nominations. Root for your team, pick the ones you want to win. And if you have any particular ones that you really want to win, or ones that you think have been snubbed horribly, then let me know in the comments below. Speaking of best ofs, click the video on screen right now if you want to check out my best 4K discs of last year. There's a ton of films to get recommended there, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.